Dude, should we do a video of like answering these questions that I get a lot of? And you can just ask me questions that people are asking?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do that. I think that would be easiest. Okay, let's roll with it.
How do you like to show your hair?
I think that has changed through the years because so before I felt like I always would just share all these different ways to curl, and I'm in this phase, well, like with different hair tools. So I would go in with a spiral, like a bubble wand. I'd go in with a tapered wand. I'd go in with this kind of flat iron, that kind of flat iron, a curling iron, a 32 millimeter wand, a 25 millimeter, like I was always changing it up all the time, which I'm so fine with, but I feel like I lost, how does Jocelyn like to do her hair and how does Jocelyn like to get ready? And I'm a pretty ordinary person. Like I'm gonna change things up a little bit, but not a ton, because I get really like, I wanna look in the mirror and just love it. And I'm not in a tight curl place right now. So I think if it was, how do I like to show my curls? It depends on the haircut and it depends with what hair tool I want, because the hair tool is gonna make the difference for how it makes it look.
What type of hair tools do you like to use the most? I'm gonna say the flat iron.
The flat iron is great. So I always ask myself, like if I'm going out of town, how I can take like the least amount of hair tools. And the flat iron is one that I will take probably most of the time, because you can curl with a flat iron or you can straighten. And I just feel like I just want to get the job done, still look beautiful, but how can I not take a billion things? I'm your carry-on kind of girl. So the one that I like to use most though right now is a curling iron, because it gives me these really loose waves. So anytime though that I have a hair tool that I am using, I'll turn the heat down so I can get more of a loose wave. So I'm in this phase and I feel like trending right now is a loose wave. So if I do use a curling iron, I will make it so it's a loose curl. I actually filmed a tutorial over on Instagram that's 5 minutes long. And then I filmed a longer version of that as well that I'll be posting, or is posted. I don't know which one I post first. And then from there though, it depends on if you want like a flat wrap or what I want, because they're gonna all make a different wrap. So it really is personal preference, but for me right now, I like a curling iron. But I'll probably, if I'm traveling, I'll take the flat iron instead.
Since your tools change so much with your haircuts, does that mean you don't use them or recommend them?
No. So just because I'm not using the Loduo at a moment, which that's like the kind that has the fan, it's like a flat iron, but you can curl, it looks more like a curling iron, but it's not a curling iron, it's just rounded. This fan will turn on. So just because I'm not using that one a lot at the time, or I'm not using a spiral wand, but maybe you would have bought, not a spiral wand, a bubble wand. Maybe you bought the bubble wand because you saw me using it, but I haven't been using it lately. It doesn't mean that I don't like it. It just means I'm in a phase, or that haircut does better that I currently have at the moment. That haircut does better with a different tool. The length of your hair matters for what tools you use too. And so it just depends what phase and what length my hair's at the moment. Wait, let me get to that. Again, I love all hair tools, and I do think that people need to find the ones that they love and go with it, even if I'm not using it in tutorial. It just means I'm not in that phase at that moment, or my haircut has changed and I had to switch.
So on that note, what do you recommend for others to use? So
when people ask me which one I like, normally their style, that you go with like which one you can use easier. So like, let's say that you really struggle with a curling iron or a wand and you just can't figure out how to wrap it right, then you'll curl better with a flat iron. And so you just continue to curl with a flat iron. Like it's okay to get out of your comfort zone and get better, practice at other things. But if you like the look of what a flat iron can give you, or if you like the look of what a certain wand can give you, because different wands will give you way different looks, then go with that one. So I always say go with the style that you feel like you're at the moment, but also what you feel like you're comfortable with. People know if they can't do wands. People know if they hate flat irons. People know if they hate curling irons. So just keep with that, even though if you see a million other people using different tools. It just depends with where you want to go. Short hair coloring techniques. So I have lots of different tutorials that I've had in the past that maybe even are 2 or 3 years old, but I've even broken down what a different hair tool can give you. for those. And I do like to show, I actually just did a live on Facebook. I do lives on Facebook Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I just did a live on Facebook that kind of talked about how like the Le Duo can give a little bit different of a curl than a curling iron. And so if you want a different curling technique, watch YouTube tutorials if you pay attention to how it curls, like actually curls. Like don't pay attention to what the girl's overall end looked like. Pay attention to what her curl looked like. And then like she used a curling iron, and then she used a wand, and then she used somebody else used a wand and flat iron. Pay attention to the way the curl curls, because that's the technique right there that you can see if, you know what, I actually would really like that curl best. And that's gonna help you to know what tools that you wanna buy if you're in the market for a new hair tool. And kind of gauge it off of that versus like, she looked so cute, so I'm gonna look so cute, because you will have different hair than her. And so your hair type, how long your hair is, and your methods of how your hands work is gonna look different than the girl who did the tutorial. So just pay attention to the actual curl itself and what your hair type is. Maybe watch somebody that has your exact hair type too, and that's gonna make a difference for your hair technique. And then if somebody doing a tutorial, if they mention that they have a harder side to work on, like what's their side that's hard, and realizing like this side is not gonna turn out like this side because you're coming on this way and you're coming on this way, not to mention your hair grows a different direction on each side. So depending on how you're left-handed or right-handed, that's gonna change your curl too. So that technique is all gonna come into play, and it just takes practice. Like how I did hair years ago, if you go back and look at my videos from 4 or 5 years ago, my hair's nothing like that. And it just changes because you practice. So if you say to me, ever, I can't do my hair, you just have to try different techniques, because it pans out, I promise. If anybody ever does have questions like that, send them my way and we can turn them into content to be able to help people out more, help you out more as well with your questions. So they can send them to Jocelyn@fitmissionmakeup.com. And then if ever they like want to reach out to me on Instagram, it's Jocelyn.McClellan. And then on Facebook, it's Fit Mission Makeup. No, yeah, Fit Mission Makeup with Jocelyn McClellan. Okay, over and out. Subscribe to this channel, like all the things. Here we go.